Hey everybody, it's me, Tom Angleberger, author of the Origami Yoda books and all those other crazy things. What we're going to do today is not Star Wars origami. In fact, we're not even going to be making puppets like we usually do. Today we're going to be making boxes. And I can't even tell you exactly what kind of box we're going to make because that's going to be up to you. We're making experimental boxes here. These are something I've been messing around with. It's based on some things I sort of half remembered from some books I read. And it's similar to the paper hats that newspaper men used to make for themselves to keep the ink out of their hair. Let me show you how it works. And we're going to show you how one pattern can make these three different boxes. And then how you can keep experimenting with basically the same pattern to make all kinds of different patterns and possibilities. I'll leave that up to you. All right, let me make a little room here. I'm going to show you how this goes here. Let's see here. Maybe this green paper would be good. All right, we're going to start off with this green paper. First thing we're going to do is fold it in half. Now, make sure you give it a nice good crease. I'm using cardstock, so I've got to give it an extra crease. If you're using regular notebook paper, you don't have to worry so much about the crease. Okay, now turn it this way so that the crease is up at the top. Now let's just give it a quick little mini crease to make sure we know where the middle is. So just bend it in half and then just give it a little touch there. You don't really need to make a real crease. We just want to remember where the middle is. Now you're going to take this corner and you're going to fold it down so that this edge goes right down the middle there. Okay, this is pretty simple stuff. I'm sure you've folded something along these lines before. In fact, you might notice it's not that different from the original Origami Yoda from the first book. Do the same thing on the other side here. All right, and if you ever did that Origami Yoda from the first book, you may remember the move we're going to make next. It's a little tricky, and in fact, one way to make it a little easier is to flip this over and bend these creases the other way, just to make them a little creasier. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to unfold them, then we're going to open things up a little bit, and we're going to push it on this corner, and we're going to try to make it go inside. And then when we close it back up again, it'll be like that. So notice it's different than folding it straight down. It's actually folded inside. If that's the first time doing it, it takes a couple tries to get used to it, but you'll get used to it. It's not hard. Now, open this up again, and let's see if we can move this other corner in. We're going to push on that corner, kind of make that bend the other way, and now we can close it back up. So now we've got this. All right. So now we're getting to, this is the part where a lot of the experimenting is going to happen. We're going to bend these edges in to the middle. That's going to be on our first try. We're going to fold them into the middle. But the next time we're going to fold them differently. And the next time we're going to fold them even differently. And when you do it, you can fold them any way you want to. All right, so I folded both of those into the middle. Now notice I didn't fold both pieces there. I just folded the top layers over. Now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to fold that one to the middle. And that one to the middle. All right, this is so simple so far. And this is pretty straightforward. This is doing it the most basic way with no variations. So now we're going to take this bottom area here. We're going to fold that up. Flip it over. Take that bottom area and fold it up. And now our box is actually done. As far as the folding goes, it's now time to sort of open it up. And you'll see when you open it up, you'll feel it. It's going to want to go like this. It's going to want to settle down and flatten out the base. There it is. It's a nice three-dimensional box. It's about half of a cube. All right, so that's what we get when we fold into the middle. Oh, by the way, let me show you one thing here. If you don't want these handles sticking out of your box, they can be useful, but you might not want them. You can actually just fold them inside like this. Okay, there's also another fancier way you can fold them inside so that you don't have these triangles there, but I doubt you're really bothered about that right now. All right, so there we go. There's our first box. It's about half of a cube. Might be useful for keeping some pins in or something, you know. Maybe some origami. Maybe some of the junk I've got on my desk. Maybe I could finally clean things up around here. I probably won't do that. I'll just make more mess. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back. We're going to unfold this a little bit. Now, if you like the box you've got, you don't have to unfold yours. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to unfold. And then I'm going to redo these creases here so that we're back to this point right here. Remember when we were here? All right, we're going to be back to this point. Now, the last time we did it, hold on a second. There we go. The last time we did it, we folded these into the center. Okay? What would happen if we didn't fold it all the way into the center? What if we folded it, let's see, just a little ways, something like this? What would we get? Let's try it over here too. Just a little ways, maybe about an inch. Now, some people that make boxes like this, I read a book once where a guy was doing these boxes and he was measuring all kinds of stuff. His boxes were great, but I'm too lazy to make stuff like that. So I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to estimate it. The great thing about these boxes is they're still going to turn into boxes even if you've got the sides uneven. Maybe we'll show you that experiment too. But for right now, let's fold these flaps up and flip it over. Fold that flap up. Now let's open up our box. And now you'll see we've got a much wider box, not nearly as deep. This is a much bigger box. In fact, I think my pins fit all the way inside of this box. Totally different box, but with almost exactly the same folds. All right, now let's do another one. And this is my favorite, so I'm looking forward to this one. We are going to unfold it and then refold it like this. Okay, so we've tried it here and we've tried it here. So now let's try it farther over. Something like that. Okay, and then let's fold this one over top of that. I kind of miss having a Star Wars character to fold. I thought about making, you can sort of make one of these that looks sort of like the mouse droid. I might make a video like that. It is kind of less exciting not having a Star Wars character, but this is still a very practical item. Let's flip this over. Oh, by the way, I shouldn't have folded that up yet. Now let's flip this over, and you can just make sure you fold it the same as the one underneath. Okay, and flip this one over like that. Okay, now we fold this up and that up. And now when we open it up, it's not going to be a big flat box. It's going to be almost exactly a cube. What do you think of that? And if you make two of these the same, you can even, I don't even know if this will work. You can put one inside the other like that. Have yourself an actual box. That yellow one turned out a little lumpy. But that's what I'm talking about. These three boxes, very different boxes, very useful, and all with the same basic pattern. So you can experiment from there. Let's try it. Let me show you one more experiment real quick. And then we're going to start with a new piece of paper for a whole different experiments. I can go on like this for hours. I'm probably just going to turn you loose to experiment with it yourself in a minute. Let's see here. Well, we wanted it like this. All right. Now, this time we're going to fold one side in to the middle and one side in not to the middle. Okay, and we flip it over. We will just do the same, match them up like that. Fold this and fold this. What do you think is going to happen? We've got a unsquare box. It actually is not that far from being square, but it's definitely not. It's quite square. So you can experiment with this and make just about any shape you want. All right, let's unfold this. I want to show you now how we're just getting started with the experiments. Let's go back to where we started. And of course, all the experiments that we've shown so far, everything turns out completely different if when you start, you fold your paper like this. You're going to get a whole different batch of things if you start like that. All right. In fact, should I do one of those real quick? Let's do one real quick. Fold this and fold this. Once you get good at it, you can fold these really fast, and it's especially handy when you need to make the top and the bottom for a box. You can knock them out in no time. It really doesn't take long at all. All right. You don't have to follow along with this one. This is just to show you what happens, because I kind of forgetting what does happen. I've made so many experiments, I can't remember what happened. Which ones were successes and which ones were big failures. All right, let's see what we got here. Flip that up. Flip that up. What's going to happen when we open this thing up? Oh, weird. It's a very deep rectangular box, like that. This would be very good for keeping pins. You know, I'm always making stuff to keep pins in. Well, that's because I've got about 3 million pins. I've got too many pins. All right, so that's how that worked out. Just by making, by starting it horizontal instead of vertical. All right, let's unfold. Let's go back. Let's start out folding like this again. Now, remember the very first thing we did, well, after this first fold, the very next thing we did was we folded things to the center. Well, here's another experiment you can do. You don't have to fold to the center. You can fold anywhere you want. How about if you just fold this far? And how about if you just fold about the same on the other side? Doesn't have to be exact. Where's this going to get us? Well, let's find out. Tuck these in. Once you get used to it, the tuck ends are just so straightforward. Easy to do once you get used to it. All right, there we go. Let's see. Now we've got different options. We can decide how far we want to fold it in. You probably don't want to fold this all the way over, because if you do this, you end up with a box that isn't very wide. Although maybe that's what you want. I'll leave it up to you. You do it however you want. All right, here we go. And we'll fold this one in about to there. We'll flip it over and match those. I wonder if anybody's still watching this or if everybody started experimenting already. I hope you started experimenting. You don't need to watch me experiment. I just wanted to show you what some of the different options were. All right, here we go. When I've got things, if you look at this flap here, it's pretty big. Hey, it's starting to look like Boba Fett or something. Maybe we can figure something out with that. All right, flip this up just halfway and then flip it over again. That's just sort of helpful when you've got a big extra piece like that. There we go. Let's see what happens when we open this up. Ah, very nice. Very pleasing little size here. I've got this little box that I made here. It's very similar. It actually opens up like this. You can keep stuff inside of there, and even has the lid on it. You'll have to figure out how to do that, but I think this box is just about going to fit in that box. I've got so many boxes, I need to start making boxes for my boxes. All right, people, there we go. We've got a lot of different options. I want you to try to make some of these, experiment with them, and one thing you can do is keep making them slightly smaller and start stacking them up. See how high you can stack them. You can make a little pack for gum or a pack for some cards. You can just make boxes to clean up the mess. You know what? This place is such a mess. I've got so much mess here. It's just getting out of control. I think I might have to make some boxes and start cleaning up some of this mess. So I'll get busy on that. You guys get busy on the what do you call it? The the boxes, and I'll see you guys somewhere. Remember, don't forget about my book, Strange Case for Origami Yoda, and DJ Funkyfoot. Oh, I just bumped the light. And Geronimo Stilton. And I got a brand new book coming out called Two-Headed Chicken, coming out this September. And don't forget to stop by my website, origamiyoda.com, to see what everybody's up to, and you can show us what you're up to. All right, folks, let's get rid of all that stuff so that I can say, may the force be with you always. See you next time, everybody.